Okay, so I'm gonna make a quick video on this new game that I've been playing, so you guys can kind of see what it's all about. This is my dude, Colt Fane. I guess you can probably guess what weapon I'm using, but get into that in a bit. So this is Albion or Albion Online, whatever you want to call it. This is me and my big ol' ox. So essentially, what this game is a huge sandbox MMO, meaning you can do whatever you want and make your own fun with it. So I'm currently on our guild island. I see it here. We got a guild hall in here, which is still pretty new. We got a lumberjack over here to help me gather stuff. Got some chests with mats and stuff in it, some leathers, some ores, planks. It's still pretty fresh for us because our guild's pretty small. We've got 3-4 of us in there. My personal bank of stuff. You can see my inventory over here as well. Then we got marketplace person, butcher. For cooking, we got this cloth person who can turn quick refinement. Think about when you're playing WoW or something. If you find copper ore, you gotta turn it into copper bars. They basically exist for every single person here. So you gotta have this person in order to do it. Now, we can't really make a whole lot. Notice there's only like 2 tiers here. It actually goes up to 7 tiers. But we have to level these up ourselves on our guild hall. Now, I can go to the city and use a tier 7 one, but it costs money because I don't own it, and we own this one, so we're going to gradually get this one up to where we can use it. The big thing about this game is it's really unique in that you can kind of have your own fun with how your character plays. So you can see my guy here. He has a frost staff, so I got some frost abilities. Well, I got a ice bomb. I got some hail I can put on the ground. You can see the controls are kind of similar to a MOBA, like how League would play or something. Your abilities are based on your weapon and then your armor types. So if you look at my staff here, my Q, W, and E are all based on these abilities. So I have 2 options for my Q, I have 3 options for my E, for my W, but I haven't unlocked this one yet because I need to be a higher level. And then my E is here. So the weapons, and then it's also like passive, so I can get like roots on the every third auto attack or normal attacks for energy or spells increase my speed buff or whatever. So there's lots of different things I can do. And then my armor, similar thing here. So my headpiece has an ability, my chest piece has an ability, and my feet have an ability. And you notice every single one has different options. So what's cool is that you go into this giant tech tree. It's absolutely massive. You can see I have a couple of green lines, so I'm making some progress. But how this works is, say I'm using frost staffs, so I have to use basically a regular fire staff or frost staff first. Once I do that, then I can use the next rank one, and once I do that, I can open up 5 more options that I can do. So the frost staff, and this is the same for every single weapon type, and then every single armor type. So there's frost staves, there's cursed staves, fire staves, arcane staves, holy staves, lots of ones like that. And then each one has 5 more options. And so what it is the first 2 abilities, you'll notice for every single one, the Q and W are going to be the same. You have the same options regardless of what frost staff you're picking. Your third ability is going to be different though. So this one has avalanche, this one is hail, this one is ice storm, kind of how this functions. So imagine that, but then you're getting your weapon, and then you're also getting your head, your chest, your feet. These are going to have a lot of different ability options. So you have a lot of different ways to make your character kind of unique. The way I'm playing, I made a kind of an assassin frost mage here. My chest piece gives me ambush. It makes me turn invisible. And so I turn invisible, and I get this buff that makes my next ability do extra damage right here. And so then my first ability out of there, that's going to hit like a truck. I also have an ice block as a headpiece ability. Then I have frost block. Makes me a little bit faster, and people touch that, they get slowed down. So that's how my character's working, but there's lots of different ways you can do it. I think Dirk's playing a character right now that I think he's using 2 swords, and then he has a lot of mobility. So he has a jump, or 2 jumps, and then lots of extra damage. And so it's kind of how he plays. But you play healers, you can play tanks. There's lots of different things you can do. So the gameplay aspect is pretty fun. I mean, it seems simplistic, but it's pretty cool. Now, in terms of things you can do. You go onto this map, and you can see this thing's pretty massive. It's absolutely huge. And every place has lots of these different zones. So we're starting off over here. We're actually close to Bridgewatch. This is where we kind of are based in. And so you have these zones. You can see there's like 3, 2, 1. That's kind of like a level or a tier, I guess you could say. Levels don't really exist in this. There's just tiers. So the better your tier, the better places you can go to, yada, yada, yada. So I've been farming in this Vixen Tor place right here. There's lots of wood, there's lots of stone, and lots of ore. So you kind of need those 3 things. I want to make staves, so I'm collecting lots of ore and lots of wood to make these. Other people might not really want them, so if I have excess, I'm just going to sell it on the marketplace for a bunch of money. So now when you get into these other areas, you notice that these ones that are 4, 3, 2 are all blue. They're safe zones. You get into these 5, 6, and these are yellow and red. This is where PvP, like world PvP, will happen. So you'll have gankers, you'll have people just, fighting big guild battles, stuff like that. There's seems like there's boss fights probably here. I haven't really gotten that far, so I'm not really sure what this crazy shit is. But it's pretty huge. There's a lot of potential in this game to have lots of fun, and we just got started. So you can see our Wayfarer Trading Company. We got a little hammer and anvil icon on our cloaks here, and yeah, I don't know. It's it's not free to play, but I think it's worth checking out. It's pretty fun. So, no, this thing. Say if you like combat, you're gonna start specializing in fighting. So you can see here, since I've been using frost staves, I've gotten good at using them. Then I can make them stronger. So when I use frost staves, I'm better than someone who doesn't use frost staves often. I'll be actually stronger at it. Compared to someone who, so if I use like a fire staff or an arcane staff, even though I'm a magic user, I would suck at it. Think of it as putting points into something. I'm not going to be as good later on. Now, in terms of like crafting and stuff, I've only crafted a couple things. I've crafted my cloth boots, my cloth helmets, and my frost staves because I want to be able to make my own that are really strong because I don't want to have to spend money on those things. Now, that's all I'm really putting points into. Well, I also use a leather chest piece, but I don't collect leather and stuff, so I'm not really good at it. But Dirk is, so he's making them for me. And then our other guy, Steven, he's doing kind of like the blacksmithing stuff. He's really good at making armor, but he's not really making weapons. He's just making the armor and stuff. So you can be very, very specific, or you can be, really in depth with all of them. It will take some time to be in depth with all of them. And it'd be virtually impossible to do little. These are all crafting. These are all crafting options all through here. There's a huge amount. So I only have 3 that I'm good at right now, and I'm barely good at all. So, it's pretty in depth. Lots of cool stuff you can do. So give it a whirl if you want. I don't care. I think it's a lot of fun. It'd be really fun to have more people on. So, like it. Who is this? Oh, there's Steven. Look at this guy. Look at him over here. I want to dance with him. I want to dance with you, Steven. Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. Alright, enough of that. Oh, there you go.